So, I forgot to mention that Midoriya's new quirk is black. Also, I've noticed every time he's up against Sensho, his vestige appears, which is weird. And I wonder if there's some meaning behind this, or maybe it's just a coincidence.
This following video contains spoilers that might upset you if you haven't watched this series. It is advised to avoid this video for your protection of not being spoiled. Also, do know that I most certainly do love the anime series and the characters, but sometimes life can be boring at times, so it's best to be a bit cringy at times. So, yeah.
Where the real villains are the teachers, because they are training them like it will be the end of the world, even though they're just teenagers. Yeah, training will never end. So I know Deku and Bakugo are going with Shoto to go train under Endeavor. But before that, I want to talk about Hawks, because a few weeks ago in Kyushu, Dabi gives Hawks another chance to prove that he's on their side. And that's to eliminate a hero other than #1 hero. So he can't eliminate Endeavor, nor himself. So #3, Best Genius, will have to do since he's still recovering from All For One's attack on him. Hawks has a devil bag. I'm hoping it's not what I think it is. And he's waiting for Dabi. And now he's getting bored, so he flies off to find the League of Villains. Students in UA are allowed to return home on New Year's Eve. Aww. At long last, Deku is finally being nice to his mom. Maybe he's finally realized that she really cares for his safety. Alright, after New Year's Eve, the next day on New Year's Day, Midoriya goes into training with Endeavor, being his mentor. But right after we talk about... I'm not sorry. Hawks is a cool character that I like to talk about, just for a little bit, not too much. So Hawks appears to this man... Wait, wasn't he a hero at this location where Bakugo and Shoto were saving people? I can't believe there are some heroes that are traitors. Hawks is no traitor, but it's not like the villains know that. Also, he's really good at being undercover. Yeah, that was it. Endeavor is the #1 hero, so obviously Boko, Shoto, and Midoriya will be just as good as him if they just watch him work. I mean, who needs training when you have the privilege of observing the #1 hero? Of course, Hawks is here since he is the #2 hero, and he's not training Fumikage right now since he's busy. But he does have his sidekicks training Fumikage. After all, someone has to, or the next generation will be screwed. He's here to give a book for Endeavor to read, and it's called Meta Liberation War. Since it's grown in popularity, he tells him to read it, especially the highlights. He also gives Endeavor students a copy of the book, since Izuku wants to check it out and believes it may have some tips about Hawk's speed and other things about Hawks. But it won't. Hawks won't give away his secrets. The students are now at Endeavor's agency and meet Bernie, who is a sidekick for Endeavor, and her name is Mo Komeji, and her quirk is blazing hair. The students are to keep up with over 30 sidekicks who will train them. Endeavor isn't really training them, and has his sidekicks to train them since he's going back to his office to read a book that Hawks suggested to him. And he has deciphered the code that Hawks gave him, and it says, the enemy is the Liberation Army. They number over 100,000 in 4 months to action. Alright, based on this message, Endeavor decides to train the newbies, but they need to catch up since he can't be waiting on them when the citizens are in danger. So far, all of them are lacking in some areas. Bakugo is good in his skills and abilities, but he makes excuses as to why he's not the best. Shoto is able to control his eyes, but he needs to try and do the same thing with his fire. Deku, he does good in his full cowling, but he tends to overanalyze everything. Yeah, nothing new about that. So Endeavor gives him an assignment to learn how to do parallel processing. So basically doing 2 things at once without thinking. Mineta, Kaminari, and Zero working with the Team Lurkers, Kirishima, Tetsu, and Amajiki working with Fatgum. Others from Class 1A working with Pro Heroes. A bit of action on this mission because Ochoko is in it, and she's the main character's girl, so yeah. And then, fan service! Oh, I guess a 3rd movie? That's, alright. These students are pretty slow, and Endeavor believes they need energy in their body, so... That's That's right, they're having food at Todoroki's residence. But, yeah, this is why Shoto doesn't really invite his friends over, because this atmosphere is, well, unique. Endeavor is sad and talks to Toya, who is deceased. Or is he? He wished he was here. Oh my goodness. Endeavor is really trying here. He's really trying to change for the better. Crazy guy over here wants Endeavor to end him, and his name is Ending. Why not? But Endeavor can't do that since that's not hero-like at all. Well, he uses a trigger and captures Natsuyo. Endeavor doesn't want another of his kids dead, and he doesn't know what to do at this point. It's cool. It's cool, because we have the 3 main students that will save the day, and Endeavor is happy that Natsuyo is okay. But Natsuyo still has daddy issues, and tells him that he will never forgive him, since he's not kind. Endeavor, however, said he is kind to his mom, sister, and his brothers. He also doesn't want to be forgiven since he wants to atone for his actions towards his family. Bakugo knows what his hero name should be, but he won't tell anyone. Not until he tells Best Jeanist, and Endeavor is making a house for his family without himself being in the picture. 3 months away until Class 1A and the rest of the students in UA go up a grade. All Might is a substitute for today since Aizawa and Present Mike are meeting up with a friend of theirs in the past. The base factor of the quirk is someone who died years ago named Oboro Shirakumo, who is Kuriguri now, and who is Aizawa and Present Mike's friend. This is upsetting for both of them since their friend is trapped in Kuriguri. Well, I'm pretty sure, and he says the word hospital. That's all they could get from him, and Aizawa declares to do everything in his power to make sure there are no more victims being taken like his friend Shirakumo. Uchigo is making Shigaraki really powerful, but it's an extremely painful operation for Shigaraki, who doesn't mind since he wants to surpass all the heroes. So before he becomes an all-powerful being, we should go back to 2 months ago. Ikan Tomachiya is looking for his master, but apparently he's been told that Shigaraki will be the next successor for All for One. Well, he isn't happy since he's too weak and doesn't want to give him the title of master. Not until he beats him. Well, Shigaraki doesn't want him either, but he will need him since Gigan Tomachiya will be a great assistance for him when they start a war. Multiple Nomus in the laboratory. Shigaraki asks how Shigaraki's father and everyone else is doing, and he says they're good. So, are they aware of what he's doing? Or are they also the enemy? His family's hands are on him and possibly dead? Okay, nothing wrong with that. And he plans to destroy everything and make it a reality? Except there's always room for his comrades' wishes. Not scary at all, not scary at all. How sweet of him. But he and his comrades have to go back out there where Gigan Tomachiya is at, and hopefully Shigaraki defeats Gigan Tomachiya. Otherwise, it might be a problem. It'll work out, though, since All for One has planned this accordingly for Gigan Tomachiya to be submissive to Shigaraki since he will defeat Gigan Tomachiya. Oh, joy! Twice got a phone call. I'm sure it's nothing bad. Who am I kidding? They have Gairan who does good business with the felons and they can't lose him. And the Meta Liberation send a message that they better come to the party soon, or his 5 other remaining fingers that has been spread throughout location and been going on the news will be going to different areas. The Meta Liberation Army are declaring war against them and will soon declare a war against the heroes. Shigaraki has a plan to deal with them and their 110,000 armies. He decided that they should go and that soon Gigan Tomachiya will come after him. So he's basically lurking the beast over there and defeating the Liberation Army. It all begins with this popular ideology that has started to spread among meta-humans, the freedom to use their meta-abilities rather than suppress them. Led by a man known as Re-Destro, bringing people together to follow his ideology and forming a group called the Meta Liberation Army. They thought they would overthrow the government. Destro is in prison, so he wrote a book known as the Meta Liberation War before he committed, well, yeah, Destro was unaware about bearing a child, and years later, through generation, came Rikiya Yotsubashi, who is the CEO of the Detronet and Grand Commander of the modern Meta Liberation Army. Oh, and he goes by the alias name of Re-Destro. The League of Villains are invited to the revival party of Meta Liberation Army to be eliminated. Yep. Pretty much. Gairen warned them about the Nomus they could release here, but Re-Destro is confident that they won't be doing so since All For One isn't with them. If only they knew about this doctor. Kyrgios isn't interested in the League of Villains story, but intrigued to know about Toga's story, overlooking the fact that Toga might murder her and the warriors without hesitation. So as the saying goes, curiosity kills the cat. Half of the Liberation Army are screwed since Shigaraki has flashback of his past and wishes to see the whole picture instead of a slideshow of his past that he vaguely can remember. So, yeah. Spinner thinks Shigaraki is amazing. Twice tries to find Toga only to find her unconscious in this shed and wondering what has happened to her. The skeptic used his meta ability that's known as the Anthropomorph to surround Twice with clones of himself that he tried to escape for so long. Twice is struggling with Skeptic's puppets that look like him, and he's having a flashback of being alone in the world, and he decided to make doubles of himself. But that was a mistake because he was once again all alone, unable to trust himself. However, Toga is in danger, so he uses his ultimate move known as the Sad Man's Parade. The whole Liberation Army is now screwed since Twice can now use his ultimate move. The whole Liberation is now screwed since Twice can now use his ultimate move. Mr. Compress warned him to leave some Liberation soldiers for when Gigan Tamachia arrives. I know I say they're screwed quite a lot, but you know, they should be careful with the villains having flashback because they will basically be, well, screwed. Giten is up against Dabi. Giten is distracted as he tries to annihilate Twice's armies, and then attacks Dabi once again. Shigaraki decides to prematurely wake Gigan Tamachia up towards the city, since he knows this would make All For One sad if they died here. As that is happening, Shigaraki and Spinner goes towards the tower with Twice's armies, defeating the enemy so that Shigaraki could go after the leader and eliminate him. Spinner is up against Trumpet, so Shigaraki could go on ahead to go up against the leader. Trumpet doesn't have time for this because he wants to protect his boss, so he uses a device known as the 7 Loud that boosts the physical and mental abilities of those who trust him. The enemies are now defeating Spinner, and Trumpet doesn't see him accomplishing anything. But Spinner said if there isn't anything he would want to do, he wants to believe in Shigaraki's future and that he'd be worthless if he didn't do this. Twice the hero, villain, I mean he is, but he's saving Gairen, so yeah, he flees out of there with Gairen as Shigaraki goes up against Re-Destro. Re-Destro thought he was smart by breaking several of his fingers on his left hand. Shigaraki is screaming in pain, but his memories from his past starts rushing back to him, and it seems that his quirk is going through an awakening. So he's, well, screwed. I did say they shouldn't let these villains have flashbacks because having flashbacks is what makes them stronger. Shigaraki's dad loves his son, but being abusive because he wants to become a hero and seeing this photo doesn't really help his son to become a better person because they're dead and his father is dead. Becoming a hero is bad, so the only path he has is being a villain, where he doesn't want to create anything and isn't thinking about the future because all he wants to do is destroy it all. Because that's what villains do. Re-Destro is nervous to fight Shigaraki back since he has had his flashback. So Re-Destro bulks himself up to go up against Shigaraki. We go back to his past once again and see that he was left alone with no one to help him. Well, that is until All For One extended a hand to him and takes him in. His name used to be Tenko Tomura, but it's now Tomura Shigaraki. He goes back to the present, and Re-Destro knows he's becoming more powerful and goes towards Shigaraki using 100%. But unfortunately for him, he should have done that earlier because Shigaraki decayed the stress energy around them. But Re-Destro isn't giving up as he pushes his stress output to 150%. Now, as the battle continues between Shigaraki and Re-Destro, Giga and Tamachia rush towards Tamura as Gitan leaves his fight against Dabi again. What is his problem? And he follows Giga and Tamachia. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Dabi killed him because he's kind of being rude. He keeps leaving in the middle of their battle. The other villain tries to escape, but they are kind of stuck in the war since Dr. Uchiko doesn't want his location to be found, since he's still in the process of making multiple nomus. Gitan tries to attack Giga and Tamachia, but it's no use, and the others can't do much to him as well. Re-Destro still hasn't surrendered and plans to beat Shigaraki. Yeah, good luck with that, because he destroyed his claustro suit and decayed his legs, and he cut it off to prevent it from spreading, and the others see Re-Destro is in danger, tries to rescue him, but they froze him bare by Shigaraki's menacing stare, and Re-Destro gives up as he bows to his master Shigaraki and tells him that Meta Liberation Army is his to command if he so desires. Giga and Tamachia is in tears as he now sees Shigaraki as all-for-one successor. Shigaraki becomes the new master for the Liberation Army because, well, he needs money and wants sushi. Deka City is spread throughout the news and introducing the Paranormal Liberation Front of the League of Villains and some from the Liberation Army. Now, after this is done, Shigaraki goes to Dr. Uchiko, telling him he's rich and is the leader of the liberation. He now wants to become the most powerful being alive. Dr. Uchiko is going to grant him that wish, but it will take 4 months for his quirk to be powerful. As that is happening, we see the students having a party. All Might resolving to keep on living. And now, the war will begin with Paranormal Liberation Front, with Class 1A, Class 1B, and some other heroes from the UA Academy ready for battle. Midoriya says that this will shape all of superhuman society. Thanks for watching. I'm so happy to finish Season 5 and excited to review Season 6 because that season was amazing. Well, is amazing. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video and have a wonderful, beautiful, and an amazing day. I'm not kidding. Love you, comrades. Bye!